Hey guys, this is Anshul from Free Society, and today we wanted to bring to you an interview that we did with the lead vocalist of RebelMatic. If you haven't heard of RebelMatic yet, they are a New York-based punk hardcore band who actually just released their third full-length studio album, Ghost in the Shadows, this past month in August. They signed with Red Bright Recordings, and this album is actually the very first album ever to be produced by Mark O'Connell from Taking Back Sunday. So if you haven't had a chance to check out Ghost in the Shadows or RebelMatic's music yet, we highly recommend that you put those on your radar. We jumped on a Zoom call with Creature, the lead vocalist, and we talked about the new album, his music, his writing process, playing on stage with artists like DMC from Run DMC and HR from Bad Brains, and the pandemic and what the band's been up to and how they are reinventing their live shows to keep up with what's going on in the world right now. So we hope that you stay along and enjoy the interview. We're going to link all of RebelMatic's music and their music videos and their social media handles for you to check them out. So enjoy.
I dream the fun. You are Susan Charge, unseen and heard.
Oh, cool. I'm ready.
Okay. Well, I guess I wanted to start off by mentioning your new album, Ghost in the Shadows.
Yes. Have you heard it?
I have. And I really like it.
Okay.
It's like a good mix of like all the different influences you guys have. And it's through Red Recordings by Daniel Wallace and Marco.
Yeah, hold on. I'm in the streets. I apologize if it's a lot. It's noisy. Red Bright Recordings. Mark O'Connell from Taking Back Sunday and Daniel Wallace. Yep.
You're the first band to be signed into them and the first album to be produced by them. How does that feel?
Like there's no turning back. Like we're in the history books. It feels good. It's like you start something as far as like that's the first album that Mark Taking Back Sunday produced like fully. So that's really cool. We're the first act on it. I think we're a good act to start with. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I mean it's a huge deal. But
yeah, it is. But it's hard. It's hard to fully fathom right now. But I know it's in the books. Like regardless of what happens from here on out, it's in the book.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great start. I guess before we talk about your album a little more, I wanted to talk about you. How long have you been playing music?
Sheesh, a long time. Without giving my age away, most of my life.
Yeah.
A long time. A long time. Yeah, like really. Most of my, I put it like this. I've been playing music more than I haven't.
Okay.
And that makes, and that's 3/4 of my life I've been playing music.
Okay.
So I've been playing music most of my life.
And you've, when you started, you've been singing or you've been playing instruments?
I started off in like a hardcore band when I was like 15, and then I started rhyming. I don't really play instruments really. I compose music though. Like I know how to like. It's hard to explain. Like I can make a guitar riff without playing it. Like I know how to like I beatbox stuff. Like I have like musicians and stuff that could like bring out my ideas, but I don't actually play shit. But I write lyrics and melodies and compose songs and arrange stuff. But most of my life, yeah. But I started off singing, screaming, then I started rhyming, then kind of combined it, and then just, do what I do now.
Yeah. And who were some of like your early influences when you were growing up?
For what I'm doing now or just in general?
In general, like your music influences, like who made you want to get into music?
Public Enemy made me want to rhyme. Bad Brains made me realize I can see someone that looked like me, like, representation. I kind of always prior to doing music, I listened to music was like background. I was more like in the sports. So definitely Public Enemy is what kind of like for rhyming as far as like band playing New York hardcore bands. But I listen to a lot of like I don't know so much music, so much music. But I'll definitely say the band that made me say, "Whoa, that's what I want to do." Like Bad Brains. And then as far as other stuff like Public Enemy, as far as like seriously, like this is what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and you grew up in Queens, so you were surrounded by a lot of great music there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm from Corona, Queens. I'm from Corona, Queens. I grew up. Yeah, well, we're not talking about no virus. We're just talking about, the Crown City. That's COVID-19. That's not no Corona. Yeah, I grew up around. I mean, listen, Queens, home of the Ramones and Mobb Deep, Run DMC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Kiss and a lot of other people. Johnny Thunders. Like punk rock technically started in Queens. The Ramones started punk rock, then then it started in Queens. So yeah, and then Run DMC, the first hip hop superstars. So yeah, that's what from that fabric.
Yeah. How did RebelMatic come to be? Like, how did you meet your bandmates? And
well, prior to I was rhyming, and I kind of got to a point in rhyming that I was like, I was touring. I was like going, I was going back and forth to Europe, doing a bunch of stuff, and I was just kind of like, I felt like my energy was hitting a ceiling. I just felt like, this is not like, this is not what I want. Like, I need to get back. I feel like I need a live setting again. And then, like, literally, I ran into a kid that's not in the band no more. And I was like, I've wanted to play with you since high school. And I was like, oh, that's crazy because that's his voice too. So I was like, that's crazy because I've just been thinking about playing back in bands again. And then that's kind of how it happened because I was just kind of like, I'm kind of getting, I'm not over rhyming, but I'm just kind of over like, I know I have more energy that I need to express. And then it's kind of morphed into like a band, back in playing in bands because I've been playing a band again since I was young. And yeah, so that's kind of how it started. The people who have my guitarist, he's from my neighborhood. He's from like down a block from me. So I've known him like 20 something years. Alcatraz. I like fellas. Everyone else, the current lineup now, 3 of us have been together for 7 years, and drummer's last couple years, but we've known him. Well, I've known him for a while. But yeah, it just kind of happened. I like me want to get back to playing in bands. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And different members. Original drummer Sticks, rest in peace, he passed away last year. And we had different members, but this line, the majority of this lineup has been here for like 7 years.
Okay.
But it came out of a need of just like more energy. I have more energy. Like it's like tracks sometimes don't give you the same kick as a drum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kick as a drum. That's funny.
I mean, it's true. It's like a whole different vibe when you're playing live too. When you have all these people. Yeah. And I first saw you when you guys opened for DMC in Brooklyn. And and you played with so many people, you've shared the stage. Is there like, who was your favorite to play with on stage or like your most memorable show?
I mean, DMC was dope because I grew up, on DMC's from Queens. So that's and then, on IG, he was like, yo, RebelMatic's the truth. And he said that, I was like, HR, Bad Brains, that's another one of my heroes. So that was big. We went on tour with Angelo from Fishbone. That was huge because he's another one. I mean, yeah, man, like whoever. But those are like some off the top.
So your lyrics are, often about like the social injustices in the modern world. And that's obviously like a constant theme throughout this album. When did you start writing this album? Like, how did you start?
The album was done for a year. The album was done for about a year. Mm-hmm. Like the album was done before the pandemic. It was supposed to come out before the pandemic hit. You know what I mean? It's just the pandemic. I think our single was supposed to come out when the pandemic hit, and the album was supposed to come out like a month or two after, and then everything got pushed back. But album's been done. Like we've been, when you seen us with DMC, we played some of the songs from the album. You know what I mean? Like we've had this album. Like actually, like I said, we don't really record songs just in the studio. Well, we kind of like, well, let me be clear. We play our music 90% of the time. Everything we record, we played out before 90% of the time. Like we don't just like, I'm in the studio and make a song. We're just kind of like, oh, we're practicing like, oh, let's see how this works. Let's bring it to the people so they can feel it. And if we get the response we want, we record it. So yeah, it's been done for about a year.
Okay. And like when you're writing these songs, like what's the process? Like does everyone in the band kind of collaborate on each song, or?
On the music, we all collaborate. Lyrics, I write everything.
Okay.
I write all the lyrics. All the concepts of the songs are mine. The name of the band is mine. The titles, all that's me. But the music is all of us. You know, I might come up with a bass line. Somebody else comes up with art. Somebody comes with a whole song musically. Everyone comes up with. That's a whole bag. The whole team does that.
And I know you shot music videos also for a couple of these songs, and Blood and Gold was shot at Fish, which was really cool. And I think it's like a great representation of the vibe that's just like at all your live shows. It's just like so much energy. It's participating equally. It's great. And I know it's probably going to be a while till we go back to that, but you're doing these outdoor pop-up shows, which is cool. And do you think you're going to keep doing those like as much as you can?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course. We got a lot of stuff planned. We got pop-up shows planned. We got virtual shows planned. We got virtual festivals we're doing. We've already done a virtual festival. I think we're working on doing another one soon. Yeah. We'll get back everywhere. Like, listen, this is like, we're relentless and resourceful. And right now, as much as the pandemic and the social unrest and the uprising and everything that's happening and the tragedies that's happening, there's still like so many people haven't even been outside. So like, you know, to see live music, as long as it's done responsibly, why not? Now we're getting offers. Like now people are like, yo, you wanna? I see what you guys are doing. You guys want to play out here in Long Island? I'm like, very good, very good. Like maybe not. What's going on? It's just So it's all We got an album out. I mean, regardless, we have a record to promote, and so that means we have to play. And you know, we bought the generator. We bought the equipment you saw. We bought that. We invested in that so we can play. Because we're not going to sit around and be like, oh, this is going on. The record's coming out. And, you know, like do it. Like get it done. You know, it's not going to be perfect. And the weather is nice right now. So while the weather's nice, should be a fool not to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think like people just really need that right now. And your album coming out was so timely with everything going on in your songs. Just represent all the anger and hurt that everyone has right now, like with what's happening. So
yeah.
Is there like a favorite song?
It's Born to Win.
Okay.
On the album. But I mean, you know, I love the whole album. But Born to Win is my favorite song because it's it's my favorite. It's like the narrative so much in like heavy music and like punk and rock and a lot of stuff is just this whole nihilistic kind of like live fast, die young, fuck the world, all this shit. And I get it. You know, we all felt that way. We feel that way at times. But I just feel like I wanted to shift the paradigm as far as like not being born to lose and being born to win. Being like change, you know, having a more positive outlook on things. Even amongst madness. You know what I mean? Even amongst madness.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my favorite. But the whole record is pretty fucking dope. It's dope. It's really good,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, I mean,
Really good.
the punk side said it was like your best work to date, which I think it's like great. Like the whole
Yeah.
album together just like flows really well, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, no, I appreciate it. I think we're proud of it. We're proud of it. I feel it's the best work to date. We're working on another one.
Yeah,
We're already working. We got a bunch. Yeah, we got a bunch of new stuff already.
that's
Ready.
cool.
Not ready, but like we're working.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
you're
course, always.
probably gonna play
This
those
is not.
songs soon,
I'm
right?
not gonna stop. Oh, yeah, at some point. I mean, so many people haven't heard. No, but we're gonna start slip. Like, what I mean is that in these times, there's people surprised not to get familiar with the record. We want them to hear definitely a lot of the record. So obviously that's the most important part to hear the new record. But you know, we're definitely gonna slip some new songs in. But everything's new. If you never heard of us, it's all new. But
Yeah.
new, like not out yet. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Maybe not this Sunday, but the people, during this course of performances. Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely. We got some shit for y'all. We got some shit. Oh my God, we got some shit for y'all. Very happy about it.
Yeah, excited to see all the new stuff too.
Oh yeah. It's just we're proud of it.
What matters? Is there anything that you might
I'm in
like?
the street.
I can see that.
Oh yeah, I'm in the street. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. I guess I wanted to say like a lot of our audience, like Free Society, it's primarily based in India. And like, is there something you might want to say about your music or your band for people who might have not heard of you before?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's honest, it's introspective. It's black people of color doing something that people might not be familiar with us doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're not familiar with us like necessarily doing harder music or heavy music or even rock and roll, which is insane because black women started rock and roll, so it's insane.
Exactly.
People don't know that. Yeah, Sister Rosetta Tharpe is the godmother of rock and roll. She influenced everyone from Chuck Berry to Elvis to everyone in between that I consider the fathers of rock and roll. So that's why on our shirt, the yellow shirt we have, is that Sister Rosetta Tharpe to symbolize, we're the great grandchildren of her. And so basically, I would want them to know our music sounds like James Brown and Mosh Pit. It's honest, it's introspective, it's grassroots, it's not misogynistic, it's fun, it's energetic, and they got an open mind and open heart. Hopefully they like it.
I'm sure they will. I mean, it's
great. You like to have fun, and you want to get pumped up and hear something that's actually talking about something. Yeah, why not? It might be that band for you. It definitely might be that band. And listen, the whole record is 24 minutes and 13 seconds. So listen, we're out of your hair quick, not in a reasonable time. And if you like it a lot, you can play it twice. And if it was like it was good, we're not here to monopolize your time. We just say like, all right, look, we're a part of your day. We don't need to be part every single second of it.
I mean, like, I think anyone who's hears your music for the first time is definitely going to be hooked. Because when we saw you at DNC, we didn't know about your band before, but when you guys came on and after the set, my roommate and I just looked at each other like, we need to find out who they are. We need to follow them and we need to see what they're about because that was so much fun. We weren't expecting that, and like when you guys came on, we're like, this is great. Yeah,
thank you. I mean, we're one of the bands I think that play like us that can play with DMC and it makes sense. Mm-hmm. Can play with harder like punk bands, hardcore bands, and hip hop groups, and fucking alternative certain metal bands. I think that's the dynamic. Our diversity shows a lot of our influences. And it's like we don't try. Like we worked hard at our craft, but we're not like we don't really. It's not laborious. We don't like really try to overthink stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't sit and research nothing. I just write. I always just write. I got my notebook, I got my phone. I jot shit down. I write. I don't wait for things to happen to write. I just write because life is happening. We play music. Most of our music comes from us just jamming, and then we work on it, work on it. I write on the spot. Sometimes I take it home and write more, and then we fix it up and present it, and hopefully, and people will like it. Right now, that's what it is because that's what we've been doing. Like we don't sit like yeah, that's what we're doing, and our thing is to have fun. Like regardless of what's going on in the world, like we're not we're definitely not going to ignore what's going on in the world because it's in there. I talk about it, but there's still a way to be celebratory, even when you're speaking about social unjust and what's going on.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to look at it. I think I got everything that I needed. Thank you for doing this.
Of course, I appreciate you. Hey, the people in India, we're coming to see y'all soon. Once this clears up, the pandemic, once it's safe to travel and everyone's safe, we got our passports. They ready. So listen, I know some bookers. We got. You can get in touch with our booking agent, and we can make something happen. Once this opens up, that we can play the rest of the world, we're working to go everywhere. Everywhere. Places, especially places people don't go. You know what I mean? The type of shit we do, but places that people don't touch. We want to hit India. We want to hit Africa. We want to hit like everywhere, Asia, everywhere. Not just Europe. Europe, of course, but not just Europe.
Yeah, I mean that's what like most bands just like do. USA, England, like the rest of Europe, and like that's about it. But
yeah, Canada. I mean, it's because those are stronger markets for maybe the brand of music they do. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, a lot of those bands are not like people of color, and they're not like what I mean. Their music might not relate to people like that. Not no disrespect to nobody, but that's just the fact. I think like I just see it like look, we play festivals with the only band like us on there, and it's straight hip hop. We play festivals that when we play with punk bands, they don't sound like us at all. No one's like what I mean, and that's because it's a connection. It's that line that's between all of it. It draws, the line draws. It's like, oh, I can see this, I can see this, I can hear this, and you can tell that it's natural. So yeah, we look forward to playing those places that people don't want to go. Or even don't want to go, they may not think there's an audience there for them.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an audience. I can promise you that.
Well, this is a start. This is the start of it. Make sure y'all go to Spotify. Check us out on Spotify. RebelMatic. There's an album called Ghost in the Shadows. Stream it. You like it, buy it. You got vinyl, we got merchandise. You can buy, you can support us. And we appreciate y'all. I send everyone peace and love,
I will definitely link all your handles on our post, on our article, and your music videos, which I think are great.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for the time, and thank you for reaching out. It means a lot. We don't never want to take shit for granted. So I definitely appreciate the opportunity to reach another audience.
Thank you for taking out your time, and I hope I can catch you this weekend. It'll be great to.
We got more coming. We got more.